item and the list of business, that is oath and affirmation. Mr. Secretary General, please.
Miss Anya, who started elected from the Lalganj constituency of Uttar Pradesh, will now take the oath and affirmation. Miss Anya, please. Want to take the oath and affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In English, please. I, Anya Patel, have been elected a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament. Do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
You are confident that the contribution will be very faithful to both house and the country.
Mr. Adarsh Kumar Naik, who stand elected from the Koraput constituency of Odisha, will now take the oath and affirmation. Mr. Adarsh, please. Sir, do you want to take the oath and affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In हिंदी प्लीज। मैं आदर्श कुमार नायक जो युवा संसद की लोकसभा की का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूँ, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं विविध द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूँ। इसके कर्तव्य का संघर्षपूर्वक निर्वहन करूँगा।
We delighted to welcome you to look forward to the contribution and for the cause of the nation.
Priya Sita Jena, who started elected from Almapuram constituency of Andhra Pradesh, will now take the oath and affirmation. Miss Priya, please. Madam, do you want to take oath and affirmation? In which language would you like to take the oath?
In English. I, Shreya Sashita Jena, having been elected a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, as by a law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that
Honorable members of an important announcement to me. It's my sad duty inform you all about the former colleague Sri Suresh Chandra. He was an agriculturist by profession, a social activist who spent most of his life, times and energy in the upliftment of the backward classes. And he was the president of Mazdoor Sabha in Mirzapur and has been a parliamentarian, and most of all who are former colleagues, as sadly he passed away at New Delhi on 13th July 2022 at the age of 35.
Sir, I rise to pay my tribute to Sri Suresh Chandra, whose death has been deeply mourned. by all. He was a young man who came from a family of freedom fighters and whose father had made a name for himself. He seemed to be very well, brave and happy, and therefore the shock of his passing away was all the greater. I should leave to extend my deep condolences to his family.
Sir, I associate myself with the terrified fight by you. As the leader of house, Nine had the privilege of work. The Surya Chandra has colleagues. He was a person who, because he lovable nature, never annoyed anyone he was always with. His smiling face was a very social worker, political worker, as a public man. In him, Nine would like to be associate myself and my...
Honorable members, the House may stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. All members, please be seated. Members, now let us move to the next item, that is introduction of new ministers. Mr. Prime Minister, to introduce the new minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I have pleasure in introducing to you and to you to the House my colleagues, the new minister. Ms. Ayushri Biswal, Minister of Civil Aviation, Mr. Tirupati Naik, Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment, Mr. Swagat Sagar Mohanty, Minister of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj, Mrs. Mrinalini Chakravarti, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas.
And now we begin with question out from question number 101, Ms. Preksha Patel.
Honorable Speaker, so students in India often face problems and confusion while selecting their options while comparing ratings given by different international rating agencies, where our universities hardly figure in top 200. Don't you think it's time when we should move towards India-specific ratings for higher education and institutions?
Honorable Education Minister, Mr. Sai Sudhitya Panda, please.
Sir, our ministry is busy in preparing a framework to rank India's higher education institutions. This India-centric ranking framework will give an alternative to Indian students. The ministry had even held consultations with QS and Times ranking authorities to look at how to improve the rankings. Thank you.
Ms. Preksha, any supplementary questions?
No, sir.
The floor is now open for supplementary questions. Moving towards the next questions. Question number 102 from Ms. Nishtha.
Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to inform the Minister of Road and Transport and Highways to state the number of electric vehicles and the number of EV public charging stations in the country. Whether the government is aware of the insignificant number of public charging stations in the country. If so, whether an initiative would be taken to electric charging stations at the prominent places of the country and the state.
Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Rahul, please.
Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to answer the question raised by Ms. Nishtha regarding the electric vehicles and public charging stations in the country. The total number of electric vehicles in the country as per the Vahan 14 data as on 25th March 2022. It was about 10,76,420 and the total of 1,742 EV public charging stations as per the Bureau of Energy Efficiency are operational in the country. As per the question, B, C and D, the Ministry of Power showed charging infrastructure for the electric vehicles. The revised consolidated guidelines and standards on 14th January 2022 to accelerate the e-mobility transportation in the country. Under the scheme of fast adoption and manufacturing electric vehicles in India, Phase 2 of the Ministry of Heavy Industries 2877. EV public charging station has been strengthened in 68 cities. Action plan has been prepared in 8 cities for 4 million plus population like Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore. Under this action plan, new revised target plans should be prepared for business as usual. Moderate and aggressive targets has been prepared for the installation of charging station in these cities. Ministry of Power had invited proposals from all the government organizations and similar other the public and private entities to build and operate EV public charging infrastructure on expressway and national highways and the FAME. India scheme in PSU has been assigned the duty to implement EV public charging station along 16 expressways and audit to facilitate energy efficiency service in the above process.
Miss Nistha, any supplementary questions?
No, sir.
The floor is now open for supplementary questions. Moving toward the next questions. Question number 103 from Miss Bhavna Sharma.
Sir, in the Minister of Agriculture, he pleased to say that the cheap of food grains available about second by third of country's population. The price of rupee 1 rupee to credit traditionally more the double annually. Then what the government the project called the plan cause Indian trying has do not the ministry. Think the food supplying the adversary effect on agriculture.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Ms. Jigyasa.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the member for bringing such concern to the floor of the House. The government has estimated that it will need a budget of 1.2 trillion, which is a little more than 22 billion to fund all the food subsidiary, including the new one. Under the food security program, the government has decided to provide the food grains at a very subsidiary rate, that is 3 rupees per kilo rice, 2 rupees per kilo wheat and 1 rupees of kilo for other food grains. Presently at several stores, rice were sold 20 to 30 rupees per kilo, which is 7 times more than what we can buy under the program. I ensure that no one will die on hunger. No one will have to escape from food, and this will definitely wipe the tears of many. The answer to the part C of the question is the government subsidiary which is provided to farmers and agro businesses so that they can supplement income, manage the agriculture and commodities, and influence the cost and supply of such commodities. This also guarantee them price floor and provide them some extra money for the crop. Now several development countries have comparative advantage in crop.
Ms. Bhavna, any supplementary questions? The floor is now open for supplementary questions. Moving towards the next questions. Question number 104 from Ms. S. Jaipuria.
Mr. Sir, question will answered by the Minister of Tourism. Please read 2. Point number 8. The foreign exchange earning from tourists during the last 3 years. And point B. The name of 5 countries on the top from point of view of tourist arrivals in India.
So, the answer to question A is the estimated foreign exchange earnings from tourism during the last 3 years were as follows. In 1984-85, rupees 1300 crores. In 1985 and 86, it was 1460 crores. And in 1986-87, it was 1780 crores. The answer to question B is the 5 countries on the top and the tops of tourist arrival in India during 1987 were Bangladesh, United Kingdom, Pakistan, United States of America and Sri Lanka in that order.
Any supplementary questions?
What is the number of tourist arrivals from different countries with foreign exchange earned, and which is the country from where we earn the highest foreign exchange? The matter of tourist arrival.
Floor is now open. Tourism Minister, please.
Sir, in the statement I have given the name of 5 countries. Foreign exchange earned in 1986 and 87 from different countries is like this. UK 14%, USA 11%. Tourist travels has increased accordingly.
Any supplementary questions?
No, sir.
The floor is now open for supplementary questions.
What is USSR? What is the number of USSR with foreign exchange earned? What are the steps taken by the government to attract tourists?
Tourism Minister, please.
Recently, with USSR, steps has been taken at different levels for tourist exchange program. I don't have the exact figures, but last year we started an exchange program with USSR and other places. We are trying to attract more number of tourists from USSR. Country-wise estimate of exchange promotion is not available.
Others?
No, sir.
Supplementary questions?
May I know whether the Ministry of Tourism has made any study to find out as to what is India's potential for attracting foreign tourists? If so, may I know to what extent this potential has been utilized successfully by us up till now?
Tourism Minister, please.
India has got the greatest tourist potential in the world because we have got a number of archaeological monuments, we have got tourist facilities which have been created after the creation of this ministry in 1985. We have got 18 overseas offices which provided facility for tourists to come to India. We can compare the foreign exchange earning from tourism with that of handicraft, where we are spending rupees 75 to earn rupees 100 from handicraft. We spent only rupees 7 to earn 100 rupees in tourism. This shows that tourism earns a lot for our country. The tourist infrastructure which has built up in our country over the years will attract a lot of tourists. We have conducted survey and studies which shows that tourists come to India on a large scale. In 1986, we have crossed the 1 million figure of tourist arrival in the country. It shows that the government has taken adequate steps to see that India gets a large number of foreign tourists. Thank you.
Any more questions, Mr. Pratyush?
No, sir.
The next question. Question number 105 from Miss Sanskruti. Miss Sanskruti, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir. A. Whether a large number of complaints have been received by P&T department from telephone subscribers regarding misuse of STD facility by unscrupulous facility person, and B. If so, what steps government is proposed to take in this regard?
Honorable Minister of Communication, please.
Yes, sir. Complaints of this nature have been received. In many cases, investigations showed that there were no spot in the meter readings and no unauthorized connections were detected, and actions initiated against the person found involved in the malpractice. The government proposes to take the following steps in this regard. Amendment of the Indian Telegraph Act to make unauthorized diversion of line a major offence. Setting up a vigilance squad to make surprise checks for detecting any misuse. To import charge analyzers to detect such cases more easily.
Now, question hour is over. No more supplementary, please. Yes, Mr. Dusikes, you want to say something?
Sir, a serious breach of privileges has been committed by the leading newspaper of Delhi. While committing on the recommendation of the Public Accounts Committee, the paper has attributed disconnected motives, and I have requested to you to allow me to raise a question on that matter now.
Mr. Rushikesh, have you given notice of it earlier? You may give due notice along with a copy of newspaper cutting, and I shall consider it. You cannot spring a surprise on me like this.
I have already given a notice of it at 10 a.m. today.
It will be examined when it comes to me. I shall consider it and let you know my decision. Now, papers to be laid. Minister of Steel and Mines.
Sir, I beg to lay on table a copy each of following notification under subsection 1 of subsection 28 of Mines and Minerals Regulation and Development Act 1957. First, the Mineral Concession Third Amendment Rule 1987, published in notification number GSR 1002E in the Gazette of Indian date 21st December 1987. Second is SO 145E, published in the Gazette of India date the 4th February 1988, authorizing the Geological Survey of India to carry out such detailed investigation for the purpose of obtaining such information as may be necessary in the area specified in the table annexed to the notification.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Sir, I beg to lay on the table a copy each of the following paper under subsection 619A of the Company Act 1956. Review by the government on the working of the State Farm Corporation of India Limited, New Delhi for the year 1956 to 57. Annual report of the State Farm Corporation of India Limited, New Delhi for the year 1986 to 87, along with auditing account and the comparison of comment of the Controller and Auditing General thereon.
Honorable Minister of Urban Development.
Sir, I beg to say, under subsection 1, 690A of the Companies Act 1956, review by the government on the working of the National Mineral Development Corporation Limited, Hyderabad for the year 1986 to 87. Annual report of the National Mineral Development Corporation Limited, Hyderabad for the year 1986 to 87, along with audited accounts and the comments of Comptroller and Auditor General thereon.
Now, moving towards the next item and the list of business, that is message from the upper chamber. Mr. Secretary General, convey the message as C from the upper chamber.
I have to report the following message received from the Secretary of Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament, that the sexual harassment of women at workplace prevention, prohibition and redressal bill 2021 has been passed by the upper house at its sitting held on 15 July 2022.
Mr. Secretary General, to lay on the table a copy of the bill as passed by the upper chamber.
Sir, I lay on the table of the house the bill as per by the upper chamber.
Honorable members, I have to make an important announcement on my own behalf and on behalf of the honorable members of the House. I have great pleasure in extending our warm and hearty welcome to the honorable members of the British parliamentary delegation who are on a visit to India as our honored guest. It is very high-powered delegation. The delegation arrived on Sunday 21st September 2015. They are now seated in the special box. We wish them a happy and comfortable stay in our country. The House will take up the next item, the list of business, that is the calling attention motion. Mr. Sayam, please.
Sir, the state government and union territories intimate the central government every month of their requirement of food grains from the central pool for issue through the public distribution system. The allotment of food grains to the various state and union territories is made on a month-to-month basis, taking into account the availability or stocks in the central pool, the relative needs of the various states, the market availability and other rejected factors. These are being reviewed every month and allocations are made accordingly. During the year 1987 to 1988, the total quantity of 15,361 lakh tons of food grains were distributed throughout the country. This is sizable increase over the quantity distributed in 1987, which was 140.26 lakh tons. The uptake of food grains from the central and state stock has increased due to the failure of monsoon in many parts of the country and consequent drought condition. Governments have been able to meet the increased requirements of public distribution system out of the stocks that have been built up by the government in accordance with the policy followed by the government during the past several years. In this connection, that the management of food economy has to be a joint effort of the center and the states. The availability of the stocks in the central pool, which comes of help for release for public distribution system, can be sustained, particularly the vulnerable section of the society, and cannot meet the needs of the center population.
Miss Sasmita, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, really I have to thank the chair for giving me an opportunity to call the attention of the Agriculture Minister for taking up the discussion with regard to the situation arising out of the adequate supply of food grains to the states by the center, that true at a time when my own state is not positioned to feed the people in Tamil Nadu even for 3 to 4 weeks. Here we are discussing only about food grains. Sir, I know fully well that in our country, consisting of so many states, it is the bounded duty of every state consisting of so many states. It is the state is surplus state to give the central pool after processing rice or wheat, as the case may be. And I also feel that it is the bad duty of the center to send the rice the states concerned at the time when they are actually in need of it. There should be some mutual understanding, not only politically but economically also. Then only we can create a very peaceful atmosphere, rather a pleasant atmosphere between the states and the center. Sir, as far as my state is concerned, we don't have natural resources as many states in this country. We have do not Godavari or now state that every month they are supplying rice and wheat to all the states. Sir, from June 1987, not even a single grain has been sent from the central pool to Tamil Nadu. Many times I myself, our Chief Minister and our concerned minister met the officials here. They did not even care to give a properly reply to our Chief Minister or the concerned minister of our state.
They think that Tamil Nadu people will go on without talking any food grains continually for years together. Sir, that is state of affairs. I want to specially the minister concerned that steps they have taken so far when have respectfully asked that 85,000 tons of rice should be sent to the Tamil Nadu. Immediately to fit that people there even 25 days have passed but not single train has been received by us. Time well interruption, it is just like waiting up.
Honorable Minister of Labour to introduce the bill, Ministry of Labour.
Sir, I beg to move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Employees Provident Funds and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 and the Indian Penal Code.
Is that leave be granted to introduce a bill further to amend the Employees Provident Funds and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 and the Indian Penal Code. Those who are in favor will please say yay. Those who are in favor will please say yay. Yay. Those who are against it, please say no. No. I think the yes have it, the yes have it, the yes have it. Leave is granted.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
Now the House will take up consideration of the Commission of Sati Prevention Bill 1987. Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the bill to provide for the more effective prevention of the commission of sati and its glorification and for the matters connected therewith or incidental thereto be taken into consideration. Sir, the House is aware of the crime of sati recently committed in a village of our country. All sections of our society have shown a rare unanimity in condemning the incident and views for the effective prevention of the commission of sati and its glorification. Although the offence of attempt to commit suicide is contained in section 309 of Indian Penal Code and has been held by various courts to include the commission of sati, punishment is not deterrent enough to prevent such a practice. Besides, there is no provision to prohibit the glorification of sati. Therefore, with a view to provide more stringent punishment to those abetting the act of sati and as to also prevent its glorification, the government has brought forward this bill. Before this August House, salient features of some of the important provisions of the bill are as follows. The bill defines sati comprehensively to include not only burning of burial alive of a widow with her deceased husband, but also a widow with the husband or relative. This is because it has came out to notice that there have been cases where a woman has been burned alive with a brother or stepson. Anyone who abets the constitution of sati would be punishable with the maximum penalty, that is, death or imprisonment of life. The abatement of an attempt to commit sati would be punishable with imprisonment of life. The convicted of such offence shall be disqualified from inheriting the property of the victim. Further, such persons will be disqualified under the Representation of People Act 1951 from the date of such conviction and shall continue to be disqualified for a further period of 5 years after release. For the attempt to commit sati, we have provided the same punishment as for the attempt to commit suicide in the Indian Penal Code. However, since only a person undergoes great pressure or not sound in mind would attempt to commit sati, we have provided that the court trial to such an offence should be for offence. Glorification of sati has been defining a detailed and include observance of ceremonies, collection of funds, and construction of temples. We propose punishment by imprisonment which may extend to 7 years for the offence of glorification of Sakti. The bill also lays down procedures for setting up for special courts and appointment of special public prosecutors. All laws in force immediately before the commencement of the proposed act will stand repealed. But anything already done under the laws so repealed shall be deemed to have been done under the corresponding provision of this act. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am confident that the all honourable members of this House, irrespective of the party, will welcome the bill wholeheartedly and through it help eradicate this horrendous practice once and for all. With these words, I now move that the commitment of Sakti Prevention Bill 1987 be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Silence. The motion is adopted. Now the House will take up private member's resolution. Ms. Sneha to move the resolution.
Sir, I move the following resolution. This House recommends that the government should, point first, take steps to combat effectively the separating men of drugs and narcotics which are degenerative the motion, especially the younger generation. And second point is make institutional arrangement for the rehabilitation of drugs addicted. Mr. Speaker, sir, drugs addiction is one of the greatest problems confronting our country today. It is breaking the country and destroying our youth. Today, drugs taking is not the exclusive phenomena among the selected group of dropout in the big cities. It is now rampant in small towns and even in villages along the length and breadth of our country. The great tragedy is that even young children are not being sprayed up will be shocked to learn that in Bombay, unsuspected resorting to crime to get the money to buy this drug. I feel that the main reason of the increase in drugs within our country is because it has become a center of international drugs trafficking. There is a lot of money involved and big guns are in the field. It is a tragic that in their greed to make money, these criminal people do not hesitate even to destroy the lives of others. Today is not a simple law and order or health problem. Firstly, there should be a coordinated action by the various ministers of the government. The measures should be combated by the Minister of Finance, Home Affairs, Welfare, Law and Health. Secondly, the existing penalty under the law is too less. This is a business in which crores are earned in a matter of hours. In some countries, there should be convicted drug traffickers. This may appear too much for us, but considering the damage the people do the society, we must produce so really effective punishment for such an offence should be made more severe, and government should take steps and amend the existing law on this. Third, the Minister of Home Affairs would ensure that the drugs are not smuggled into the country through our international borders. Our country should not be made conducive with drugs are smuggled to other countries also. The local police force should also be made to take the issue seriously. There should be a severe crackdown on drugs peddlers, especially this operating near school or college. The government should also mount an adequate advertisement campaign through exhibition record, TV, hoarding, etc. People should be educated and made aware of the dangers of drugs and addiction. Thank you.
The resolution by leave of the House is withdrawn. Now the House is adjourned to meet again tomorrow at 11 a.m.